Hi everyone, welcome back. My name's Morgan. This is my channel Pisces Paperbacks, and tonight I am starting a reading vlog. So a while ago I had this idea to read scary books at night, not very original, but I wanted to try it out. I have 3 books here. I'm gonna read one per night and it's gonna be awesome. And let me tell you what they are. Book number 1 is I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Iain Reid. I literally have no idea what this is about, so I will update you later because I'm planning on reading this one tonight. Tomorrow I'm going to read The Haunting of Ashburn House by Darcy. This is like a haunted house horror novel. And then last night I want to read Thornhill by Pam Smy because this is like kind of half graphic, half not. So really excited about that one. And it's 10:45 at night on a Saturday and I'm gonna get to reading. So wish me luck. This is like the setup that I have. You're on like a little TV table. This is like a little chair, recliner. I have my books. I have my blanket. I have some tea, just a little. And I'm gonna get started because I have a whole ass book to read and it's already pretty late and I'm tired, but I wanna be scared. I wanna be spooked. Okay, so I'm 20 pages in and I still can't tell you what the book is about, but it's so far introduced us to a couple. The girl is unnamed, the guy's name is Jake. They're going to meet his parents, they're going to visit his parents, but she like is thinking about breaking up with him. And it's just kind of flashing back to how they met. She's just recounted a time in her childhood when she woke up at night and saw a man standing outside of her window, which was actually, I think, really creepy, and we're only 20 pages in. The idea of an intruder or someone in the shadows is like a big horror thing for me. It's one of the things I'm like most scared of in horror movies, and so like that being already so early on, I'm really excited for what this is gonna do for me. Okay, so I did sleep for like an hour and a half, but it's 3 a.m. now and I'm on page 105. It's funny because like not much has happened plot-wise. They kind of arrived at the house and they ate dinner and like that's it. But I am so unsettled. And she's about to like go into a basement. So I'm getting really creeped out. Which is good. It's what I wanted. But I do keep checking the hallway to make sure there's no one there. So that was so fucked up. Oh my god. This is fucked. Now I have to go to sleep. Oh god, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sleep. I need to process. Oh my god. It's 9 a.m. I feel a little dead, but I want to talk about I'm Thinking of Ending Things because I have some thoughts. First of all, I'd like it to be known that I did kind of get spoiled for the twist by accident, but I don't think it affected my enjoyment. Like, I think maybe I would have been more shocked at the end, but I was still surprised, disturbed, confused. Having some inkling of what was going to happen did not prevent me from going through what I think the author intended, like the stages of confusion to be. That book was fucked. It's a type of horror book where the horror is the suspense. It's like the waiting for the other shoe to drop, something to happen, because you know something has to happen. And I think it did a really good job delivering that in like 200 pages. Like, that's really impressive. Not to mention that this, and you'll see the other 2 books that I'm going to read in this video, they're both like ghost haunting things. And basically those are like the things that creep me out the most, are like real world suspense of waiting for like somebody to come get you, or like possessions, hauntings, things like that. I'm not really like scared of creature things. It was so, I kind of want to watch the movie even though I've heard the movie isn't very good. Those are my thoughts. I'm gonna go eat breakfast. I don't think I'm gonna like vlog during the day because that would make this video so long, but I've worked today. I don't have work tomorrow, but tomorrow I'm going to be voting. I'm going to be dropping off my ballot, so maybe I'll vlog that. So we'll see. I'm back. It's like 8:20 on Sunday night. I worked until 7 and I'm home, and I want to get started a little earlier than yesterday because yesterday I didn't start reading until like 11 o'clock and I was so exhausted. So tonight I'm going to start reading, hopefully at 8:30, and I'm going to be reading The Haunting of Ashburn House because it's the longest like regular novel of the 3. I'm very excited for this. It's, you know, classic haunted house, spooky. It's about someone named Adrian, and when she inherits this crumbling old estate, she has to move it and she has nowhere else to go. But everyone in town says that there's something wrong with the place and that bad things happen there. So when she moves in and things start happening, she's like, oh no. Pretty classic horror movie setup, but that's kind of something I've been looking for. Like, I want to read books that feel like they could be horror movies, and so I'm really excited for this one. I also got a tripod, so we have like a nice official looking angle where you're not like, I don't know, balanced on 4 books and a tissue box with a broken, I have a broken like mini tripod, so I don't know, it's nice to have something more official going on, and I'm very excited to, you know, make more videos with it. Alright, I put on sweats and I got all 6 million of my blankets ready, so let's get to reading. I'm 20 pages in, and it starts off with like a flashback to when the main character was a child. So, and she gets to the house as an adult in the 2nd chapter and immediately remembers that memory and like that something weird happens. So I appreciate that the character isn't like clueless for like the most of the book, because I feel like a lot of the times in stuff like this where it starts off with a flashback, we as the reader know more than the character for too long. So I appreciate that this isn't doing that. I want to say that there is this like cheesiness to the writing. Like, the writing style is not very, like, I don't need books to be like, oh my god, the prose. Like, that's not something I like really pay attention to. But I've noticed that this is not like an immature writing style. Like, that's not what I'm trying to say. But it is fairly simple and sometimes a little corny. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. It's just very like, this person wanted to write a horror movie, horror novel, and she's using the tropes and she's using the sentences that you would use to write that, and she just really went all in, and I respect that. It is only 10:15 and I'm already up to page 110, so I've been reading this a lot faster than I was expecting. I think it's just like a really fast read. Like, there's not much happening, that's a lie, but it's basically just following Adrian her first couple days living in Ashburn House, and creepy stuff has happened. I'm very into it. I don't know if I'm spooked like in real life, but I am very unsettled reading the book, like learning more about like the mystery and like the legends around the house in the town, and I don't know, I'm very excited. I'm enjoying it. This book is also really playing with the idea, right now at least, of an intruder or someone about to break into the house, and that someone also might be a very, very old person, and old people really freak me out, and so do like break-in scenarios in horror movies and stuff. So like, this is like my nightmare situation that I'm reading about right now, so it's doing a good job. Freaked out is a good way to phrase it. I don't know if I'll be able to stop at 150 pages because I need to know what's going to happen. I'm officially past the 200 page mark, and I keep taking breaks every couple of pages because I'm so freaked out. So it's good. It's creepy. Adrian she's not stupid, So she's like investigating. She's making some good conclusions and investigative leaps and whatever. But I also don't know if she's the smartest. I take it back. Something else just happened, and Adrian is a dumb bitch. This dumb bitch. Don't go into the fucking basement. Oh my god. It is taking me so long. It took me so long to read from 215 to 260 because I had to keep stopping. I was too scared. It is 1:15 in the morning and I just finished. There was at one point a moment where I didn't know if I was going to be able to fall asleep because I would just be thinking of creepy old ladies trying to sneak into my house. But fortunately, things are never as scary after the reveal. And there was a pretty thorough explanation of what was going on provided in the book at like 20 pages from the end. So I'm good. I'm gonna be good. I need to think. But I'll talk to you in the morning. I'm so tired. Good morning. It is 10:30 on Monday. I slept in a little later today and I'm about to eat breakfast, some cereal, but I wanted to give you some thoughts. So I read The Haunting of Ashburn House and I think that Darcy Coates did a really good job literally taking like a fun, creepy, scary horror movie and putting it into a book. So this definitely achieved what I was going to. I thought it was really scary, probably scarier than I'm thinking of ending things, but I'm probably going to be thinking of ending things more and longer than I think about this, because this is such a cut and dry horror movie. So I don't know, I really liked it though. I thought it was really good. Again, very straightforward writing. There were a couple times where I was like, this main character's too dumb to live, but she made up for it in other ways. There was a really cute cat named Wolfgang, and I don't know, I just really liked it. So I'm gonna be thinking about that one. That really spooked me though. And it's funny because I had my lights on. Last night I was reading in like relative semi-darkness, or 2 nights I was reading in like relative semi-darkness, but last night I was reading like full lights on in my room and I was still scared. So I don't know, maybe I'm just a baby. Today my plan is I'm gonna be hanging out with my uncle, but I'm going to be dropping off my ballot. So I'm gonna bring that with me, and I'm gonna bring you with me because voting is really important. At this point, it's probably too late to register to vote or to share resources to register to vote, but I will be sharing the resources of some organizations that are working against voter suppression, which is a huge issue in our country, like on so many levels. So those resources will be in the description box. If you have the ability, it would be incredible to donate. Yeah, so that's the plan. And then tonight I'm going to read Thornhill, so I'm super excited for that. I just wanted to add that I don't think everyone is going to find this book as scary as I did. I'm a bit of a scaredy cat. Specifically, it's also played with some tropes that I specifically find really scary. So that's like a personal thing. I also think that I'm thinking of ending things will unsettle more people, whereas this is kind of like jump scares in book form, and it was less of this like building paranoia. It was more of just like scary thing is scary, you know what I mean? So I do think it is subjective, and someone who's maybe more versed in horror than I am, because I've really only seen like a handful of horror movies. Someone who's more versed in horror than I am might just think this is like a fun romp. So, and I still think that would be a worthy reason to read this book if you wanted to get like a fun horror romp. I think this is also that. So, just saying. Okay, so I don't remember what I told you I was going to do with my day earlier, but I did not do any of it. I went to go hang out with my uncle, and we went grocery shopping, and we had lunch, and that was it. I'm going to drop my ballot off on Thursday, so everything I said still stands. Those resources will still be linked in the description box, but I don't have any footage to show you of me dropping it off, so I don't know. I did wait until later than I had planned to start reading tonight, because I got really wrapped up watching like YouTube videos as usual. So it's like 11. You might also notice a slightly different setup. I have a huge ass softbox light literally sitting a couple feet away from my face. And I got a couple softbox lights because I wanted to have like good lighting in my videos and be able to film at night. I also got like a real tripod and it all came in the mail, so I'm really excited to try it out for the first time. But yeah, like I said, starting to read. Tonight I'm reading Thornhill by Pam Smy. I have never given like a real synopsis of this book because I didn't know what it was, but I finally found the one on like Goodreads, so I can give you a little bit more info. So basically this is a story in 2 timelines. The epistolary written sections are journal entries from a girl living in the Thornhill Home for Children in the 1980s. And then the graphic novel sections are following a girl in 2016 who I believe is investigating Thornhill, which is like next door to her house or something like that. So I am really excited to dive into this. I'm expecting it to be really kind of more on the unsettling, like creepy Coraline-esque side. I'm not expecting it to be really like scary, but I flipped through and there are some deeply unsettling images, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, straight off the bat, the girl in the 1980s, it's 1982. I don't know why she talks like this in her journal. It's like, I feel like people in the 80s were pretty casual with how they spoke, and this girl, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, if this had been from like the 1880s, I would have been like, yeah, that makes sense. It's just like a little formal. It's like throwing me off, so I just wanted to put that out there. But I'm already 30 pages in. Wow, this really does go fast. This is the longest of the 3 books at like 539 pages, I think, but I also think it's going to be the shortest reading experience, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I'm 150-ish pages in, and the only update I'd like to give is that one of the stories feels like it's moving a lot faster than the other, because obviously the one is told through writing and can have a little bit more detail and move the story along, whereas the other story is visual only. There's no words, it's just the images. And that story is taking place, I think, so far it's been like a day, maybe, and then the other story has spanned an entire month so far. So it's just like there's a bit of an imbalance, but I'm interested to see where it's going and to see how the stories are going to connect. The girl in the past likes to make puppets, and I think that visual is going to be like really creepy in the now times if her name's Ella, the current girl's name is Ella, finds some of Mary's, in the past girl's puppets, and like, what do they mean? Did something happen with the puppets? I need to know. And we have reached the end of our journey. I just finished Thornhill. It is actually only 11:55, so this took me just about an hour to read the whole thing. I do think I read it a little fast. Upon reread, I think I would take my time with the picture portions more. I think they're really beautiful, but I was very interested to see like what the story was going to be. I do think it delivered like on the creep factor in some ways, but mostly this was just sad. It really was just the story of 2 very lonely girls wanting someone to connect with. I think this did a really good job delivering this very sad, emotional story about bullying and feeling hopeless. But honestly, I feel a little weird that this was in like the middle grade section or the children's, like the young readers section at Barnes & Noble, because I'm gonna spoil it, so I'm just gonna put a spoiler thing up here, and if you want to read this book, you can. This book ends with suicide. Like Mary, the girl in the past, commits suicide in Thornhill, and then in the present day, Ella, who has been struggling with her mom passing away and then her dad kind of being an absent parent and feeling very lonely and isolated, burns down Thornhill and dies in the fire on purpose. And I think that it's a good horror kind of gothic, this doubling, and I think it's effective as a storytelling. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad storytelling or a bad story, but I do feel a bit uncomfortable that this book is being marketed to young children. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know, there's like no trigger warnings in it. And Mary's story, Mary's the part that you get from her perspective, like reading her thoughts in her diary, and she is so hopeless and so depressed and feels so misunderstood. And I just feel like it could be really damaging for young children who maybe feel like that's their experience, like they're being so viciously bullied they don't have anywhere to turn to. And I don't know, I don't know if this is like the story I want them to be reading. I especially don't want them to read this if, you know, if you're like a 12-year-old kid and you pick this up because it looks cool, like, does your parent know you're going to be reading about, like, most of it's just like fun creepiness, but like the end is really depressing. Like, I don't know, I think that's my problem with it. It didn't scare me, although there were some deeply unsettling images. I liked it. I actually really liked it, but it was just so sad. It was so sad. So, yeah, I don't know. Kind of a not the happiest note to end on for this whole like reading scary books at night challenge, but I do feel like the nighttime atmosphere did enhance the story. I thought the images were beautiful, like really beautiful and evocative. Is that the right word? I just don't know how I feel about the intended audience for this, basically. I guess while I have all 3 books here, I'll just do my little wrap up tonight. So over the last 3 days, I stayed up late and I read scary, spooky, creepy books, and I really liked all of them. There was none of them that I felt like they were bad. The first 2 actually really did scare me. I'm Thinking of Ending Things was just so mindfucky, like like I think that's the best word to describe it, was mindfucky. It just was so weird and bizarre and unsettling, and I really liked it. The Haunting of Ashburn House, really scary to me. Like I said earlier, I don't think everyone would think this is scary, especially if you primarily read horror, like that's your own most read genre, and if you've read more horror than me. But I really like this. I love a good jump scare, and this is basically like a whole bunch of jump scares shoved into a book with some haunting things going on, supernatural, and I just thought it was fun. Again, it was a little cheesy. The writing wasn't sophisticated, but I don't think it needed to be. I think it did exactly what it wanted to as a book, and I think it did a really good job doing that. So very into that. And then Thornhill. I feel the most conflicted about this book. Like I said earlier, I think this book was extremely successful doing what it wanted to do emotionally and storytelling wise, and I think that this achieved its goal for the story it wanted to tell. And I just don't know if I have any thoughts more developed than that yet, but I'm going to be thinking about this more, and I definitely want to talk about this more in my wrap up to see if I can like look and read other people's reviews, learn a little bit more about the book. So I will have more thoughts about this book, but they are currently not in the brain. I am very tired, and I had a really nice time. I hope you had a nice time. I hope you enjoyed my new light. Hopefully I have a second one, but I thought like the shadows would be like spooky, so I hope you liked it, and I will see you guys next time. Comment down below if you are reading any scary books this year. I'd love recommendations. I really am excited to celebrate Halloween this year. I'm just in the mood. I'm feeling the energy, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!